Well, I'm wondering, so since you've mentioned approaching repertoire independently without teachers, wondering how you start to approach a work like tonight's Mozart Concerto, and perhaps how you approach it when you revisit a work. You know, do you fall back on old characteristics you used to do, or do you try and kind of take a fresh bite out of it?
Yes, I mean, tonight's concerto, I think I played for the first time aged 9, and I've played it a lot throughout the years. But I found that each time I've come back to it, at least it does feel very different, simply because I've changed as a person. And I think each time I am trying to improve it, trying to tackle it as a new work, and trying to draw from the things I've learned since I've played that piece. So I guess this time, somehow, I mean, I moved to Germany in 2006, and since that move, I guess, I don't know, I seem to have learned a lot about playing with orchestra, just from friends. I've met new friends that work in orchestra there, and in Germany the setup is a little bit different from England, in the sense that, I mean, for example, the leader is called the concertmaster, and the concertmaster's job is actually to keep the whole orchestra together. The conductor's job is to provide the emotions, but the mechanics of the orchestra playing together, them coming in, they don't look at the conductor, they look at the concertmaster. So just things like that. And so now, I think over the last few years, I've been paying much more attention to that, realizing you can actually interact with the players more as a soloist. You don't just have to sort of sit and look at the conductor and sort of wait for them to follow you, but you can actually try and interact more, and then that ends up giving you more freedom.
Yeah.
And then I guess the largest amount of work comes at the very end, when you actually do finally meet the conductor, because yes, I could come up with my own interpretation, and then just say to the conductor, this is how I do it, I need it exactly this speed, I need everything exactly how I want it. I don't believe in that, simply because you can also learn so much from the conductor. They will have at least as much experience as you have had, or have experienced just different things. They may have worked with other pianists. I mean, tonight's conductor, he could probably play it very well himself if he wanted to. And so I'm always, very open. It's also very interesting for me to play with an orchestra from Salzburg as well. I've not done that before. At least I've not played Mozart with an orchestra from where Mozart was from. So they have very strong traditions of the kind of sound they produce, the kind of vibrato they use. You will notice that the phrases tend to come off very kind of smooth. Sort of when the melodies end, then they really end quietly. And it's a sort of very graceful sound, so that makes me want to match that. So I'd say it's still a work in process, because we've played it now, I think 3 times,
yeah. And
each time we're sort of, trying out new things.
What's the atmosphere like with such a specialised orchestra like that from Mozart's hometown?
Is it intimidating?
Yeah.
To a point. You feel that. I felt myself that they probably know a lot more about playing Mozart than I do. So I remember at the beginning I was trying not to make any big mistakes, where, simple thing of, when you play a loud chord, where, everyone plays it loud, and then they're all playing it softly, and then you think, oops, that's tradition, I didn't realise, things like that. But I think, it's up to now, it's been a very kind of, they're a very open bunch, and you'll see that they communicate within themselves a lot, and they seem very cheerful on stage, and they're very responsive. So it's been a nice challenge.
The audience were given the opportunity to ask Freddie some of their own questions. The first, of course, what is Freddie's favourite piece?
My favourite piece? Oh, I think if it was a special concert where I could pick the pieces, it would most likely be Beethoven. one of my favourite works is his Archduke Piano Trio, which I think has one of the most romantic sort of slow movement themes that exist. It's really exciting to play for the performers, and also the Emperor Concerto, which I feel is similar in emotion to the Archduke. But apart from that, I mean, doing something like Rachmaninoff Third is also absolutely thrilling because it's such a huge sound from the orchestra. So it's a real challenge for everyone. So I think it would be one or the other. I'm not sure which one.
Another member of the audience asked whether the relationship between the conductor and soloist can become fraught or difficult.
That's more a question of personality. It also varies from country to country. For instance, if we just take England, then I think generally a concert would not be put on without a soloist. Generally, I'm not talking about the exceptions. Obviously, there are times we do Verdi Requiem or something, but generally when you're looking at a normal concert, the soloist is a must-have, and then the soloist is seen as kind of the main draw for the public, generally. And in that case, then often the soloist would be booked first, and then they might be asked, do you mind who the conductor's going to be? And once that concerto is decided and the conductor's been decided, then the conductor will pick the surrounding works. And in that sense, then I guess often the soloist would be seen as, having complete freedom in the concert, in the sense that the conductor will say, how do you want me to accompany you? The opposite of that would be in Germany, where half the time there is no soloist. And there the conductor is asked to come up with a program, and then he might want to do a concerto because he would feel it would match the symphony the best, and then they would ask him, who do you want as the soloist? In the same sense as saying, which of our solo clarinets do you want playing the solo? Which concertmaster do you want, playing the main solo in the Till Eulenspiel or something? And there in Germany, then the conductor has complete say. He will actually say to the soloist, because of the style of orchestra, I want you to play like this. We're going to do it at this speed. I want you to play more staccato than maybe you're used to doing. And he'd make sure he had a soloist that he knew well enough, knowing it would match their style. So, I mean, for someone like me, where I'm playing, in different countries a lot of the time with different nationality of conductors, then it's always something different. But I personally try to keep an open view. I try to, and my view is that everyone is more likely to play together if we're all trying to play together, rather than me saying, I'm going to play here, and everyone else has to play with me. So, but I think, that you will find our soloists, the very good soloists, that simply, they shut their ears, they just play their bit, and everyone has to keep up with them. So it's, they're all different types.
Finally, just before Freddy went off to prepare, we asked him whether he had any advice for today's young musician.
It's difficult. I mean, I think with, music's getting more and more difficult these days. Mm-hmm. So I think you just have to, really believe in yourself and keep going and not give up, thinking that other people will give up before you. But also I think just not be blind in thinking that, to become a successful musician, it's only about the art. It's not. I mean, I don't think any career in this world, in any industry, you can afford anymore to be so selfish and, just, think about yourself. Everything's becoming more of an industry. So I think it's just, I think just being observant and putting the hard work in.
Thank you for listening. Come along to Venue Cymru for the next free pre-concert event at 6:30 p.m. on the 25th of January 2011. Watch out for more events and updates available on our website www.venuecymru.co.uk.